And it was like Sunday night. So church, I got God in there, doing good, right? Filled and touched, and so I'm happy. Down there, it's like 7:30 at night, so not many people are there, and hardly any employees. I get over to the butcher block, and I want to get some steaks, and nobody's there. I'm patient. I wait there about 10 minutes. Nobody comes looking for anyone. No one. That's fine. So I go, I'll just come back. So I go do some more shopping. I come back. Now we're like 20 minutes in it. Nobody's in the butcher block, right? So like I'm starting to get a little annoyed. I just want to get a couple steaks right there. How do we have nobody? There's no employees anywhere. So I'm looking down the aisles, and I see a manager. There he is right there, right? And I know he saw me, and I know he heard me. I'm like, hey. And then you know how they just take off almost running? You know what I'm talking about, right? You're like, and so, so I'm hauling. I'm like, hey. And so finally he like turns around, he's like, yes. And he's annoyed. I can already tell he's annoyed, right? And so now I'm on the verge of annoyance, but I'm trying to be a pastor. I'm trying to Joel Osteen. I always try Joel Osteen. I'm just trying to be, hey, how are you doing? He's like, hey, yeah, what can I do for you? And so he's all business. And so I go, well, I'm trying to get a couple steaks over at the butcher block, and nobody's over there. He goes, yeah, you'll just have to wait. And I go, well, no, I already waited. I've waited like almost 20 minutes now. And he goes, I guess you'll have to wait longer. And that bothered me greatly. So I simply got out of the driver's seat of my emotions, and I said, hey, anger, why don't you drive us for a little while? See where this takes us. No, I'm kind of tired of driving. And then I'm trying not to do, right? Where I slide into like pastor mode, but it's angry, put you down pastor mode, like in some of those old churches where I'm going to tell you how to be a better person, but it's not in it's a very condescending way. I'm like, you're better than this. Are you kidding me? They teach you this in manager school? It's like the worst manager I've ever heard of in my life. Go sit down on a thing. I said, are you kidding me? That's not you manage people. That's not, you lead people. You're supposed to be a giver. I'm the customer. You're not the customer. You're supposed to be taking care of me. I'm not supposed to wait around. I go, so I need you to go down there. I need you to find me somebody and get me a couple steaks. And he goes, well, you don't have to be a boop about it. And then he started, and so he's walking, and I'm like, I'm a boop. Yeah, you're being a boop, right? I'm getting ready to be on TikTok here. This is going to be a great TikTok video. You're all like, you're watching, you're like, oh, that's crazy. You go, wait, that's Pastor Scott. Oh, yeah, that's where we were headed. I'm walking down, and I'm just fired at him. I'm just doing it right, just like any great pastor would. As we go all the way down, and we get to the butcher block, and then behind there in the butcher, Mary. Great has been butchered for I don't know how long. She's just always the happiest, most encouraging, amazing person back there. And she's got her big old smile. I'm like, where? And I'm thinking to myself, where you been, Mary? Like, we wouldn't have this thing. What have you been doing? Right? And so he goes, hey, I need you to help this. Boop. And he literally called me a name to Mary. And then he walked away. And then I'm like, so then I go to Mary, and she's like counseling me. I'm like, you know what? He's a jerk. He's horrible. He's the worst manager I've ever in my whole life. I'm going to call corporate, right? And in my mind, like, I'm going to get him fired, right? This is Pastor Scott. Like, in my mind, I'm playing it out too. I get him fired, and I'm like, woo. And then I see him pushing like a shopping cart outside one day, and I'm like, boom, throw what? Like, I'm playing it all out in my mind. So angry. Right? And Mary didn't know what to do. She's like, well, can I get you some steaks? And I'm like, yeah, give me some steaks, Mary. I'm sorry. It's just right. I'm angry. And she's just so, and then all of a sudden, take a deep breath, get back in the driver's seat, and I go, I'm better than that. And I said, Mary, I'm sorry. I said, I'm better. I that's horrible of me. I'm not that way. I'm a nice person. I'm kind. I said, what's his name? She told me. And so I got to go. I'm going to go find him. So I had to go looking for him, right? And so I find him, right? And he's trying to get away from me again now because he didn't know what this crazy little guy's going to do. He's like, oh my God, right? And I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. And he goes, okay. You know how they do, like, he's bad, right? Because I need more water. So I go, no. I'm being serious with you. That was very wrong of me. And I'm not that person. I'm not that mean. I just let my emotions get the best of me. And I started saying very hurtful things. And I really want you to forgive me. I'm really sorry for the things that I said. And I was 100% in the wrong, which I wasn't. That was a lie. Just so y'all know, he was like 90%. But I'm not, that's fine. I'll be wrong. He can be right. Everything's good. And you could tell like when something breaks in there. And he goes, well, thank you very much, right? And so then we, like, for the next few, he didn't work there anymore, and I didn't get him fired. I just didn't know, like, right? And so he would help me. We were always happy, saying hello.